Hello, welcome back. It's been an extended break here. We're on summer vacation from the DCHL Outsider podcast, but we got a special guest here today. We are joined by none other than himself, Easy E, Erik Tavenner. Erik, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing all right here. So I'll just give everyone a quick little background, quick little 30-second intro of who you are and any awesome facts about you that we can. Awesome facts, or not so awesome facts. We're not all. Awesome.
Let's see. My name is Erik Tavenner. I'm a goaltender.
What teams?
I play for multiple Gwendolyn teams, as well as I play for the Funk Masters and Blue Steel on Wednesday nights as well. And fascinating facts, I'm also a lacrosse goalie. Just started playing again recently.
Okay.
And got into a league, and sometimes I think I'm crazy because I'm 49 years old, but I love it.
And lacrosse goalie is one of the scariest things you could do because you're wearing no pads.
Not really.
And that ball is like a rock.
Yep.
And I don't know how you're not trying to get out the way.
Just got to stop everything with a stick.
So, Erik, how did you get in the league?
Actually, it's funny. I've got 3 kids. They're all teenagers now, and I'm a single dad. And we got to the point where they were growing up and not playing sports anymore, and I was coaching all their teams. And they basically said, my daughters literally came to me one day and said, "Dad, you need go do something. Get out of here. Leave." And so I did. I got on Meetup and found hockey, and I found ultimate frisbee and a bunch of other athletic things because I figured if I'm not going to coach, I want to play.
Yeah.
And then so I came across David, went down there and played a couple Gwendolyn rounds, and after about 3 weeks of that, they said, "You got to come play on our team," and the rest is history.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's funny because that's how I got in the league through Meetup as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always interesting to see how people get in here. So you started out Gwendolyn,
yeah,
and then David brought you in. Okay,
yeah, and then once you start playing goalie, and I subbed for my first couple weeks for
everyone needs a sub.
Yeah, and I subbed for every team I could just to get back on the floor and get the reps and get back in shape and all that.
So you play goal, but you also play out a decent amount. Do you have any preference for that? Any?
I like playing center because I like face-offs, but
I was going to bring that up in a moment. That you and Chris Winkler are 2 of the best face-off players, face-off guys in the league.
I just it seems like I'm needed more on defense, so I don't take as many face-offs as I used to, but I like center.
Okay, so you play out for Black Knights on Wednesdays.
Black Knights on Wednesdays, and I'm playing out for Blue Knights D4.
Okay.
On Sunday,
yes,
so I'm actually on 3 teams on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, you play goalie for Arabians and Funk Masters. That's right. So, who is your favorite person to play with on a team? Who do you like
to play with?
To play with, yeah.
Probably I'm going to have to say Sean Fassbender because he is just the man on defense, fast, always comes and saves the day and bails me out.
He's a good player.
And not to mention that he can pick corners pretty good. So it's always good when he shows up.
Yeah, it helps, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, who do you like playing against the most when you're a player and then when you're a goalie? Who pushes you to your best?
When I'm playing goalie, I don't know. There's a number of people. I always kind of grind with Alex Ortiz. It seems like he and I always have a little something to say to each other. Not angrily, just
a little chirp in here.
He's always breaking fast breaks, and I'm always trying to stuff him somewhat creative way.
Okay.
I probably him, and then on the floor, well, I'm usually playing in D4 and Gwendolyn Rec. I think just in general, the Lucky Pucks.
Mm-hmm.
As a team, they're challenged. The Stallone brothers and all them. I mean, they're a tough group to play, and actually gotten to know them a bit now. But they're always seems to be pretty tough and challenged. But now they moved up out of the division, so
they're in the that D3 division now.
Yeah,
that's a lot of divisions here. So we got to figure that out going forward. We're going to do 4 divisions. We're going to change things up a little bit. Kind of go from there. But so yeah, Lucky Bucks are a good team.
But of course, I always love playing with you too, Joe.
Oh yeah, clearly.
On Wednesday nights. So
clearly,
it's always
had to throw that one in there because
I would be remiss if I hadn't
included
that.
So you got me all flustered here. I'm all blushy now.
Yeah,
a little bit of semi-forced shout out. He was reading off the cue card. So
that's right.
So What other sports do you play besides hockey and lacrosse? Anything else?
Pretty much that's it anymore. I used to play a lot of tennis before I got heavy into lacrosse. And,
okay.
But then, spring sports take over, and I still bat the ball around a little bit, but for the most part, I played a lot of soccer coming up before I got into hockey. So,
okay.
But then once I fell in love with hockey and lacrosse, it was just like, that's it.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up locally in DC.
So you're local,
yeah.
Okay.
Went to St. John's and
St. John's
College High School, which is where Edie went. A couple years behind me.
It's always weird because with the schools, there's so many people who went to the same high school together or work at the same school. So with teachers, there's a billion teachers who work at is it Siena or something? It's Edie and Meg and Nick Franzen and Simon and a billion people. Everyone's got a connection to someone else here.
Yeah, well, Edie actually, I would have never known, but I would actually just put on a pair of St. John's shorts one day, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I went to St. John's." But we had a laugh about it because we started talking about what year we graduated, and I was like, 88. And she goes, "Oh, I was born in 87." So a couple years behind.
Couple years.
Yeah, when I was there, it was military and it was not co-ed, and now it's co-ed and military optional. So
you missed out.
Well, yeah, sure. In more ways than one. No, but I played lacrosse for them. I played goalie for them, and I played locally Montgomery hockey when I was coming up in high school.
Okay, so what skills are most? What skills translate the most between hockey and lacrosse in terms of? In terms of goalie, it's effectively the same thing, right?
Well, no. I mean, actually, I was really struggling today. I played lacrosse today, and the biggest thing is going down low and not having anything on my legs, and also if you play goalie correctly in hockey, when you go down on your legs, you keep your hands up to cover the corners.
Yes.
And when the ball's low, the ball's low. With lacrosse, you got to get the stick down.
Well, and the lacrosse net is it's a big triangle.
Yeah, it's 4x6, so it's a lot of ground to cover. And really, it's quite a bit different because if you do it correctly, you're stopping most everything with your hands. You're stopping it with the stick.
Really.
Whereas in hockey, I mean, today felt like a luxury having so much equipment on and being able to just let things hit me. Versus in lacrosse, you just really don't want the ball to hit you if at all possible. I took one in the ear hole first shot of the game today.
So that's a wake up, right?
Yeah. Yep. So, but you see, it's quite a bit different. I mean, positioning and being in the net and having presence of mind and having a short-term memory when it comes to letting the ball in.
Well, you get hit in the head enough times with a lacrosse ball, you'll have a lot of short-term memory.
Exactly. That's true.
So, do you think that any of your children have any interest in playing hockey in DCHL or?
Yeah, I had my son out a couple times to Gwendolyn when we played at North Potomac, and he played long stick D when I coached him in
for
Bethesda.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, so he has a skill to do it, and he's bigger than me, and he's probably got 10, 15 pounds on me and probably 2 inches on me, so he's a big guy.
So I'm not the biggest. I'm not the biggest lacrosse expert, but. So long stick D, they give you just a gigantic long stick, and they tell you to just whack at people, right?
6 foot pole, well, more or less, sort of. I mean, within reason. I mean,
see, because that seems like if I could play any other sport, any other position, it would be that. Because you just walk around whacking people.
Yeah, well, there's a limit to how much you can backswing before you come in. It should be more of a check, like a wrap check.
Okay, so it's like more of like a wrist flick and not like a 2-hand tomahawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still find things translate to like a lot of the moves that you use and. I use when I played D in lacrosse. Like I push people with the bottom, like your butt end in lacrosse. You push people in the hip, and a lot of people don't really like that I do that sometimes, but it's legal.
Yeah.
But it's a crossover thing that came over that I push people with my top hand when I go to the corner with them to get them a little off balance or push them, make them turn the way I want them to turn to make the D play. So.
Okay. There's been a huge influx of new goaltenders in the league. I mean, Ryan, Ben. You've seen a lot of people. Adam Barrett. Yeah, I mean, we're finding a lot of players just trying out goalie, and it's going well. What advice do you have for like what is some good generic goalie advice you can have? Because I mean, I clearly need it. So if you were someone, you say starting out playing goalie, what would you tell them is one of the most important things you've learned so far?
Well, I mean, it's a style thing, but I mean, I learned playing as a stand-up goalie, so I stand up probably more than some of the other guys you see out there.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is once I go down butterfly, I get right back up, and I see a lot of guys scooching across the floor from pipe to pipe, and to me, my biggest thing that I just think it's so much easier, faster, better, you're more in control of your body if you stand up and take a step to the left or a step to the right, whichever. Not trying to scooch across. Once you're down in butterfly, to me, you make the save and you get back up.
Okay, that makes sense. I do think, like from my experience when I play goalie, like when I go down, I kind of like staying down because it gives me a better view of the ball.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if that ball moves side to side, I can't move side to side when I'm down.
Right.
So that's the big thing. So pop up quick and then and go from there. Okay. What about playing the ball? You're
yeah.
You're
I like to play the ball.
You like playing. I like playing the ball. A lot of goalies like playing the ball.
I mean, I just, to me, it's again lacrosse, because in lacrosse you make a save. You're the guy with the ball. You have to go do something with it.
That's a good point. You can't freeze it in lacrosse, right?
No. So I mean, there's no benefit to freezing it. You're giving it to the other team if you give it up. So to me, I make the save and I look upfield and I throw it up to somebody. So to me, it's the same behavior. I make the save. It's on my stick. If I've got a couple seconds, I'm either going to throw it to the corner or I'll put it up the wall.
Oh, see, I never thought of that. So lacrosse is more of like if you freeze it, the other team gets possession of it, and
yeah,
it's more of like a possession game.
Yeah.
So it's big. Okay, so that explains a little bit right there. Hey, I gotta play this ball because if I don't, it's okay. That makes sense.
And also, I guess my behavior, my mind of I'm usually back there playing defense anyway. So looking up court is not an unfamiliar thing to me.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm used to getting the ball and looking up from the corner, and so doing it with a goalie stick is just a matter of function. It's a little bit more challenging with a goalie stick, but
okay, that makes total sense now. All right, so we're going to do some rapid fire questions here. All right?
Okay.
You ready? First thing that comes in your head. No soft answers. Don't give me anything weak here. All right. What's your favorite hockey team?
Favorite hockey team? The Caps.
Washington Capitals.
Yeah,
okay. Favorite baseball team?
Orioles.
God, you're such a homer. This is not fun.
Yeah.
Favorite non-Capitals hockey team?
That's a tough call. I like the Blue Jackets quite a bit.
That's a good answer. What player do you most emulate your game after? In or out, doesn't matter.
Probably Holtby. I mean, because he's such a great position goaltender, and he plays where he doesn't have to make big, huge saves because he's in the right place, and I try to be in the right place.
Yeah, you don't need to be flashy when you got the right angle.
Come out and cut the angle and try to be in the right place and not be too flashy anymore.
All right, what was the last meal you ate?
The last meal I ate was rigatoni with meat sauce from Buca di Beppo.
Okay, I'm a big rigatoni guy. You lost me at the meat sauce, but that's okay.
Well, it was
Hey, that's a solid meal though. What's your favorite candy bar?
Nutrageous.
Nutrageous. Ooh, that's a good answer right there, man.
Staying with the Reese's. I know you're a Reese's.
I'm a Reese guy. Yeah, Reese cups.
Reese
cups are good. Yeah. I mean,
they're harder to find now.
Yeah, there's like this strange thing going on with candy bars where it's the second, I don't want to say second tier, but the like the Baby Ruths, the Paydays, like a Fifth Avenue bar.
Number two is Nutrageous. Number one's Nutrageous. Number two is dark chocolate cup.
Oh God, I hate dark chocolate.
No,
hate dark chocolate.
Well, the Trader Joe's dark chocolate mini.
The
Reese's,
mini ones?
Mini Reese's cups. They don't call them Reese's.
Yeah.
Peanut butter cups.
Yeah, it's hard to find those like the second tier candy bars every now and then. It's pretty much like just what iteration of Reese's do you have? What Snickers bar? Oh,
I used to like whatchamacallits. That was always a favorite.
That's not bad.
It's a good one.
What's your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
I don't really like Gatorade. It's too thick. I drink other stuff. I drink Drip Drop, which is like Gatorade. But it's a powder. Yeah, okay. It's more water-like. So
yeah.
I recommend that. It's really good for hydration. And when I'm in goal,
you sweating. Yeah. Okay.
So, Drip Drop.
Drip Drop. What's your favorite kind of pie?
Pecan.
I like talking about food if you can't tell.
Pecan pie.
I'm always hungry when I'm doing this, so I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. Pecan pie, and I usually put some chocolate drizzle in it or chocolate chunks in it. So it's chocolate pecan pie.
Okay, that's not bad.
My brother taught me how to make it.
How many siblings do you have?
I've got 2 brothers, excuse me. Three of us. 2 brothers.
3 of us, okay.
I'm the young one. They're 13 and 10 and 13 years older than me.
Oh, so you're the baby, okay.
Yeah, I was an oops.
Say what?
I was the oops.
Yeah. It's usually the first one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that one was an oops too. I think it was. My mom was like 17 when she had her first, so.
Oof. So, moving forward with, you're the defending champ Funk Masters goalie in D2. So
that was a great win for us.
Yeah, so Funk Masters Untouchables tend to have these epic games. Oh, Jesus, last week was a rough one.
Yeah.
That was a 4-2 Untouchables first and second.
Yeah,
Jamie Brennen experience.
Jamie Brennen, and I got into it with John
Gramlich, yeah.
He ended up being in my crease, and I tried to go across.
That's not how he tells it.
I'm sure. Yeah. No, because he said he was screening, and I'm like, well, I slid across the crease, and I ran into him.
Yeah, you were a little impeded on that one.
And I couldn't get across the other side.
Well, all I'm going to say is the refs don't lie.
And, no hard feelings. It was a great competition, but I got fired up after that.
Yeah, your team really brought it in the third. That was a good game.
Yeah.
So of the teams you're on, Blue Steel, Funk, in the Arabian teams, which one do you think is most likely to win a championship this season?
Well, it always comes down to attendance. And, Funk's got a chance, I think.
The D2 division's really good, though.
It is. And
I feel like
I think Blue Steel is due. I think we need to. I think it's our year to get it done. So I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying we've been playing some good games lately.
Yeah, it's the Wednesday D2 division, though. That every game feels like a championship game.
Yeah. There's no light games in there.
It's every now and then, I feel like things align perfectly. And all the teams are just so evenly matched. Yeah. And it's just like the D2 Wednesdays looks really good. I feel like D2 Sundays.
The Gwendolyn, what are they called?
Guardians.
They're just pure speed.
That team's really good. Blade Runners look really good now too. Yeah. And then Lords of the Green Monkeys. Green Monkeys. That's gonna be untouchable.
I played for them last week.
Blue Steel Green Monkeys.
I played for Green
on
Monkeys
Monday
against Lords of the Rink.
No, Green Monkeys, Lords of the Rink are both the green team. Was it Blade Runners?
Yeah, Blade Runners. That's right.
Oh, that was a win, right?
Yeah,
that's a big win. That's because I think there's going to be some weird rock paper scissors going on where Green Monkeys can beat Gwendolyn in Blade Runners, and Blade Runners can beat Blue Steel, and Blue Steel can beat Gwendolyn. There's this weird circle of teams that can be every team matches up really well against another team.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting moving forward. I think I wish we could just freeze that division forever because it's such a good division.
Yeah, no, it is. It's even, and every game is hard, and usually it's about a 4-3 game every week. It seems
they're all really close. I feel like it was like that for Sunday D2, but. Youngbloods losing Kevin Shea was rough, and Gorilla Gang losing Bill and Josh. That really hurt. So it's the D2 division. Looks like it's going to have to readjust a little bit and see where that goes. So let's talk about Blue Steel a little bit, since we both play on Blue Steel. What are your thoughts on the team? What's the biggest strength, and what's the biggest weakness on the team? The biggest strength is clearly the goaltending.
No, I was going to say it was that redheaded guy. What's his name? The beard one?
Matt Kowalski.
Yeah, him too.
No, I feel
you do a good job settling things down.
Okay, so everyone who's listening, I swear to you, I'm not making him say that. He's clearly lying.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to settle anything down.
No, you do. You're magic. You have a magic bubble around you that you can create space and nobody runs into you. I can never find myself doing that on the floor, where everybody has this respect for you, where they're
no one has. I don't know.
Well, from a standpoint of giving
Erik is Erik is drunk right now, lying left and right.
No, you do. You have a way of creating a bubble around you where you can turn around and look around and nobody challenges you for some reason. I never understand how you accomplish that.
Everyone's afraid to touch me because I think I'll just fly. I'm so weak.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I feel like it's a weird team. We had a rough semifinal loss to the Wu-Tang Clan last season. Kevin Shea played good.
Yeah.
But
Wu-Tang is tough.
Wu-Tang that was a tough team. We just out of sync a little bit. But
I just think the biggest thing, I wouldn't say weakness of us, just the inconsistency is some weeks the defense is shut down and some weeks we're a little leaky with a couple fast breaks that we get some squirts through the middle. Yeah. It seems like the centering pass from the corner seems problematic for us to shut down.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing probably is I find myself paddling away a lot of centering passes.
So as a goalie, say when the other team's got the ball in the corner, what's your approach? Would you prefer someone to, like a defender, to kind of challenge at that point, or do you want them to kind of drop back and give them a little space and cover the passing lanes?
It depends on who the person with the ball is.
Okay.
But I would say the biggest thing I would, unlike most of the other goaltenders, is like when we have a 2-on-1 fast break. Mm-hmm. My personal preference is non-standard, and that is take. You
don't take the shot.
I want the person to take the person with the ball and let the other guy go because I can get across the side of the net if I need to, and 90% of the time I say take ball, the pass gets deflected or redirected or interrupted to some degree.
It's funny you say that 'cause that's exactly how I am. I always say, and I guess most players, most teams, I feel like you take the shot. If you're the defender and you take the shot, a lot of times the player doesn't want to pass anyway. And when they do pass, sometimes it's behind, sometimes it's in front, sometimes it hits a stick, sometimes the goalie comes out, puts a pad on it.
Well, not only that is the majority of the time, if you think about who's fast breaking, usually the person fast breaking is a shooter. That's why they got the ball.
That's why
they want to shoot.
Yeah.
So take the ball. I never understand why anybody does anything different because I'm always like, just take the ball because that's the shooter. Make the hard pass. Force them to make the bad pass. Hopefully by then it'll bubble around and somebody will catch up to the play.
That's interesting. I feel like the traditional mentality of, when you especially here in the pros, like or coaches, you take the pass, let the goalie take the shooter, and that just become like the accepted norm.
Yeah.
But I tend to, like, if I'm playing defense, I want to take the shooter because, more often than not, like, it's going to be an errant pass or, you force them outside, you're going to force the shot, it'll miss the net. Right. It's a poor quality shot.
Well, and a lot of times you've been running, chasing the person with the ball anyway, so you're already kind of proximity-wise, you're a step and a half closer to that person.
Yeah, if you have to, exactly. If you have to like redirect and change your angle, that extra step or two might allow them to get the pass off or something like that. So
yeah.
That's interesting. So, Erik, trying to get one. Give me a parting thought here for this because actually, I want this. What do you think would be the best change for the league to make right now?
The league to make.
I think things are really good. I think we're starting to figure it out a bit. I think the league is doing great, but there's always
Well, one is a rule change, and the other one is probably an unachievable change.
Okay.
The rule change, I've actually been debating the difference between. I know we've talked about the penalty, the icing with the up by 2.
Illegal icing, yeah.
Illegal icing, I've been struggling with because actually the last couple of weeks I've been on the floor playing. We've iced the puck, whatever.
Yeah.
With a few minutes left in the game, and actually, I think it's an advantage once you do that because then you can ice all you want. So for me, I love it when I get back on D and we ice it, and it's like, fine, just give me the ball. I can throw it the length on goal. I can throw it the length, and just keep doing it for the last 2 minutes of the game. It's no problem.
That's interesting. I feel like if we had a big stats bureau here, what we could do. I'm under the assumption that when that ball's iced, from when it leaves the defender's stick or the defending team's stick to the time it comes back in the zone, it's got to be 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So you can kill 1/8 of a penalty just icing the ball once. So I think you make a really good point there. So you'd want to get rid of that?
No. Well, I don't know. I just know there was debate about do we keep it or do we not. And I think when you get a defenseman that has decent hand skills. that if as soon as you get the ball, I mean, I can get it for a second and a half and sling it to the other side of the wall, the far wall, and get it all the way down to the corner. And we've done that the last couple of weeks where everybody was mad that we had the penalty, and I was like, well, just win the face-off.
Yeah, you win the face-off, it's going the other way down.
Just win the face-off. And then the unachievable would be, it'd be so awesome if we could find a way to refurbish the rink. I think this facility, compared to like even over next door when you're at the ice rink, it's just, just a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not terrible.
No,
it's great. Yeah, better than a lot of other places.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point though, because I mean, when I from where I was in Buffalo, there were 2, full size dedicated to hockey rinks that were, it goes a long way. I mean,
but I wouldn't want it to be any bigger. That's just
okay.
It's the right size.
So you want the same size.
Yeah.
You want to maybe
just new boards and new floor.
New boards, new floor. Maybe get rid of a little bit of the netting.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, at this point, I'd like to just get a sweep every now and then.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to. Oh,
sorry.
No, we're all good. All right, we're gonna wrap this up now. We got a Sportsplex employee jumping in on us here. He's terrified. But, all right, Erik, on that note, thanks for doing the podcast. We'll have to have you on again. Finally, we got you. It was brutal trying to make this work. Busy man here. But on that note, we'll catch you later. Thanks for doing it, Erik.
Yep, thanks for having me.
So we are back after a quick little end of season break here. Sorry about that. Disjointed kind of weeks with little travel here and there, Mother's Day, things like that. It kind of slipped through the cracks. So we are back full steam with the DCHL Outsider podcast here. We're going to do some quick little recaps. We got a lot of news going on here, and we are going to go from there. So let's start out. Okay, we're talking Sundays. We're going to skip Wednesdays for the moment. We got some big Wednesday news, but Sunday we had a hell of a game here. Street Sharks played the Lucky Sevens. Excuse me, not the Street Sharks. They're off the street. They went from outhouse to penthouse, winning the DCHL Rec Championship last season. They are no longer on the street. They are just the Sharks. So the Sharks jump out to an early lead. Lawrence Neubauer from Jean-Michel, ballin'. Lucky Sevens respond. Mike Zimmer from Anna, big goal there, ties it up 1-1. Lawrence Neubauer again from Dawn this time, but Mike Zimmer's going to respond again, 2-2. Who's going to get the last laugh? It's Lawrence Neubauer. 3 goals of the game, 2 assists for Dawn on that one, 2 goals for Zimmer on that. Great game. Lawrence Neubauer, very talented player here. He's kind of like a raw finisher. I mean, he's got some handles, but his shot is, second to very few. Second to none, second to one, I don't know. He's kind of like in the Chris Winkler kind of archetype. And, for those who might not be familiar with him, he's a very good player. And this is just a highlight game for him right here. Highlight reel game. 3 goals for them. Sharks get the win right now. We've had a little hiatus from the DCHL Outsider podcast. Everyone missed it, clearly. But the Sharks are actually second right now in the league, in the Rec Division right there, 3-1. Doing all right. They're trailing the Gwendolyn Nightmare, but we'll get to that in a moment. Slashing Pumpkins against the Sin Bin here. Sin Bin, team made up of some newer players, some former players, kind of doing all that. So I believe some used to play on the upper deckers. Excuse me. Some played on the upper deckers, and they got the win against the Pumpkins 5-3 here. Sin Bin is also 3-1, tied with the Sharks here. Don't know what the tiebreaker is that's going to give the Sharks the advantage right here, but we're halfway through the season. We're in no rush. So Sin Bin get goals from Tomas, from Evan, from Dawn. Dawn with a goal and 2 assists. Strong game out of her. Nathaniel, goal and 2 assists as well. And Josh, who playing really well, has a goal there. He's, I believe, leading the team in points. So we're going to get a quick little check on that while we're here. So Josh has 8 goals on the season in 4 games. So that's a strong performance for him so far. Taking the league by storm, doing it up. And so that's a good win for Sin Bin, doing their thing. Pumpkins always kind of middle of the pack, doing their thing. Gwendolyn Blue Knights against the Stick Magnets. So we're jumping to D4 right now. Blue Knights score first with John Nuno, but Terry Terry, who scored 2 weeks in a row for the Stick Magnets here. She scores, assisted by Derek and Andrew Grant, making it 1-1. And then I guess in the final 1 or 2 seconds here, we got Kevin Miller comes in clutch, scores a goal for the Blue Knights, and that's a big win for them. They are top of the D4 Atlantic Division here. Kevin Miller having a pretty good season right now, 6 goals in 4 games, doing a really good job here. Blue Knights looking good. They added Mario this season, Anthony Amato. I'm not sure if he was on the roster last season. Captains are Ben Berger and Andre here. I guess they switched up captains here to have 2 on each team to help with the leadership and all that stuff. And it is paying early dividends right now for this team. So we're not going to jump to conclusions, but they're doing a good job. Go Blue Knights. The irate puck assassins against the penalty box heroes here. One of the little surprises of this season here, the penalty box heroes doing a great job in the D3 division here. They're ups and downs, kind of figuring it out. They started out strong with a win against the Goonies, but they're on a little bit of a slide here. They going to lose their last 2, including last Sunday. The IPA gets a huge game here out of Jonathan Cintron with 4 goals, AJ with 2 goals, and Curtis put 1 in there. But Brian Billig, huge game for penalty box heroes. Team was a little out of sorts. They're missing a couple players, had a couple subs. This was a rough week for subs, let's be honest. A lot of people were out at the tournament in Wildwood for New Jersey, and that definitely threw a wrench in a lot of these rosters here. So this was a sub-central week. So take these games with a grain of salt. Not every team had their full roster, so that's okay. It's 1 week. It's going to happen every now and then, and we'll take it for what it is, and we'll move forward here. We're not going to prognosticate on the results of this game. But we had Stingrays All Blacks. This was a solid game here. All Blacks get goals early from Wendy and Kozel in the second period, but 2 from Felice in the third. Going to tie it up at 2-2. It's a tie. Ties happen. Womp womp. But the Stingrays are doing all right. All Blacks 3-0-1 on the season right now. They're number 1 in the D3 division. The All Blacks, very talented team. Made a couple roster changes in the offseason, doing their thing. D3 is a weird division. I feel like there's a lot of rock paper scissors kind of going on here, where some teams match up really well against the others. And, you never know. I think D3 is actually becoming a very, very good division. I know a couple seasons back it was a little on the rough side in terms of, 5 teams, random buys every week, and hard to get the support or the skill level down. But I think D3 is in really good shape right now. First Ladies Eleanor against the Hellfish here. First Ladies scored 3 goals in the first for Casey, Megan, and Chris Day. Hellfish threw, in the first shift or 2, they threw one off the crossbar and threw another one off the post. I think they had 2 or 3 posts on the game. It was really just a game of inches. I feel like the game it could have went the other way, and it would have drastically changed the game if the Hellfish got an early goal, but they just unlucky. It was a good game overall, though. I think a lot of talent on the Hellfish team. I'm kind of excited to see where they're going to go with this next season. Moving forward, if they can, get a little more experience together, I think they'll be really good. They added a bunch of new players. This team's kind of a little too fluid in the roster. If some of the players can stay, I think they'll be in good shape. But we'll see what happens with the Hellfish. There's one of those teams. I think they got a lot of talent. They just got to build the chemistry and kind of put it all together. I wouldn't be worried about the team, but if they go changing the roster, making some moves, it could be a little problematic. Arabian Nights Goonies here. We had Arabian Nights roster's a little short this week, but they were able to make do. They got to see Abdul return from his Ramadan experience. He had a goal and 2 assists, played very strong, looking good out there. It was a big game for him. Matt Kelly, hat trick. Kind of. He got an empty net shorthanded goal at the very end of the game, so, it happens. Not the most exciting one, but I know Matt Kelly's had a bunch of 2-goal games. Very talented player. He he can easily play D3. I think that if he gets a little more experience in the higher divisions, I could see him play D2 easily. He could be a very good player in D2. Very talented. Yeah, I watch him play. He's got good hands, good moves, makes good cuts. So I think that talented player. Hat trick. Congratulations on your first hat trick, Matt. Clearly not listening, but that's okay. Crazy Eights against First Ladies Jacqueline. We had the Crazy Eights had a strong game here. Sam played good. Jason with a shout out to Jason Davis. Shutout for the Crazy Eights, 21 saves. But Crazy Eights looking good here. D4 is going to be a weird division. Crazy Eights 2-2. There's a lot of parity here in the Metropolitan Division, the Metro as we like to call it. It's there's 2 points separating first and fourth, so it's really it's anyone's game. I'm not too sure what D4 is going to be looking like next season, but I think that right now it's got a decent amount of parity, and I think any team can beat another one, which is always good. Speaking of any team can beat any other team, we had the Untouchables against the Jager Bombs here. This was a D2 game if you've ever seen a D2 game. Untouchables score first, Adam Goldberg, but Jager Bombs respond Manny, and then Ryan, and then Sean making it 4-1. Sam Shepard's going to score for Untouchables, making it 4-2, but we had Adam Goldberg left the game. There was a high stick penalty. Untouchables unable to capitalize on that power play, but there was a strong power play. Great play in that by Jenna. So it was all right. But Untouchables get to regroup. They score. They get some goals, and game goes back and forth. This was a seesaw game. It was 1-0 Untouchables, 4-1 Jager Bombs. Then it goes 4-4 tie. Jager Bombs score, Untouchables score, making it 5-5. Jager Bombs get 2, and then Untouchables just drop 4 at the end, including empty netter to get the win here. This just exciting back and forth game. If you love goal scoring and you love lead changes, you got to watch D2. It is the most exciting division to watch, I think. If you like goals, if you're a goalie, you're probably not a big fan, but that's the Faustian bargain that we made in the D2 division. No defense. Puck University against Lizards here. This was a game. Patrick Noyes scores for Lizards first. Sean Miller responds for Puck University, but Josiah and then Megan score, making it 3-1. Sean Miller scores again, making it 3-2. Lizards, though, Puck University trying to sneak back in here, but they were unable to do so at the end. Strong goaltending play by John Robson, sub efforts. Lizards get the win against the Puck University. Then we had Puck Buddies Mercury Rising. This was another one of those kind of subby kind of games, but is what it is. The Puck Buddies getting a lot. Okay, Puck Buddies are getting a lot, huge production out of Felice this season. Felice is, you know him for Stingrays on D3, but he's playing D1 on Puck Buddies, and this season he has, in 5 games, he has 8 goals and 3 assists here. He is third in the league in scoring, and doing a great job in terms of complimenting Jake Berube. So that's the, Puck Buddies for a long time were just known as the Jake Show. But they added John Gramlich, they added Nantel, they added Felice. This team is very balanced, and they will do a good job. Felice is playing great. He had a few goals last week as well. He's always on the score sheets, but so he scored, and then Jake Berube scored, making it 2-0. But Lindsey Bittler, huge goal, roofing it on Sean Rada. Very star skill play right there. Shout outs to Lindsey. I believe she is going to somewhere in Europe to play the ball hockey national world all-star superstar championship challenge, something or other. I'm an idiot. I made it 13 minutes without 12 and a half minutes without calling myself an idiot. That's got to be a new record. But yeah, so Lindsay's going to be representing the United States, as well as Taylor Stedman for the women's national ball hockey team. I believe they're in Slovakia. It's great podcasting right here, Googling. Oh God, the women's national ball hockey championships. Yeah, we're just going to say that right now. Someone correct me if I make a mistake. But yeah, Lindsay scored. She's going to be doing a great job there, representing the country, representing all of us Americans. So she scored. Jake Bruby responded, making it 3-1. But Sean Miller getting a very rare sub opportunity for Mercury Rising here. Sean Miller, probably the first time in a long time he's been able to sub. Scores for Mercury Rising, then he scores another one, making it 3-3. Great game all around. They played with 3-3 tie. Lindsay goal and 2 assists. Jake 2 goals and an assist. Strong games all around. Hooray for hockey. John Romps, 42 saves in this sub appearance. This was, I believe, his back-to-back games, I think. So back-to-back games against puck buddies that are loaded. Makes 42 saves. That's superstar level right there. So shout-outs to John Romps for his hell of a game. Romps playing great, so that's pretty awesome. I guess Romps was busy over the weekend, traveling, getting some reps in, playing some goaltending and all that. So good luck to Romps and his goaltending endeavors moving forward. But we had Gorilla Gang Funk Masters doing their thing. Funk Masters. Okay, so I'll give some shout outs to Felice here. We're giving some more shout outs to people. We're kind of just backtracked on here on all these shout outs we got to give right now. So the person leading the league in goals is Funk Masters Jamie Brennen. He has, in this game, he goes off for, what does he get? Three goals. That is in 3 games. He has 10 goals. Leads the league in goals here. Number 1 in goals. Dead last in primary and secondary assists. 10 goals, 0 assists. Jamie Brennen, he is your finisher of the week right here. Jamie Brennen playing great. And then he had 3. And then Sean Fastbody gets a pair of Funk Masters, take down the Gorilla Gang. 5-0. But Jamie doing his thing, man. It's one of those things you think of, like, who like the goal scorers, who's going to lead the league in goals. Jamie's like one of the best two-way players, plays great defensively, great setup man, makes the move, does everything right. He's like a palette swap of Jake Smith in a lot of ways. These are the players you want to build a team around. But the fact that he's scoring goals now is at that level is terrifying, because if he can do all that and then just light up goalies too, he will be a nightmare for any opponent. So shout outs to Jamie Brennen, the product of East Aurora, New York, the lover of Bar-Bill wings. I love that I know random little facts about people and can just name drop restaurants and things like that. So speaking of dropping it like it's hot, the Goldsteins played the Redcoats today here, and the Goldsteins just did their thing. Nathan Barrymore goals with 4. But we'll leave it at that. It was a rough game for the Redcoats, who were missing some players. But, Goldsteins played great, and they got the win. Final game of the night, Youngbloods against the Ball Hogs here. Nick Brown scores off a face-off, kind of went into himself. Nice little shot, trickled by, beat Ben Berger 5-hole. So 1-0 Youngbloods here. Ball Hogs respond. Scott Bodie, not Bode. I made that mistake for a long time. Okay, so I kept saying Bode. It's a good name for hashtags. Bodes well. Things like that. But it's pronounced Bodie, B-O-D-E, which I don't know how to pronounce any names. I'm an idiot. So Scott scored. I love the fact that he corrected me, because that's one less mistake I'm going to make. And, Scott scored on that one. This is from Adam Zimmerman. Then Ball Hog scored again. Matt Chamberlain, huge shot. This was a beautiful shot. That was great. Just roofed this thing on Mike Kay, who is one of the best goalies in the league. So that shot was just perfect. Assisted from Scott Bodie and Alec Marks. But then Nick Brown responds with a second goal from Natalie and Nicole. And Patrick Noyes is going to break the tie with a goal assisted by Joe Frew. 3-2 Young Bloods here in the win. So that is our quick little DCHL update. Thank you for Eric T for doing the interview. We were trying to get Erik Tavenner on the podcast for a while. Sometimes the schedules just do not work. Been trying to get John Nuno as well. He's been super hyped to be a guest here. Dying to talk to him. We cannot get in sync. I'm going to take the blame for that one because it's probably me. It's not you, it's me. But working on a couple other super special guests here. But we're doing that. So 2 quick things. Last month, I know we haven't really talked about it on the podcast because the podcast hasn't been airing. Apologies for that. But the okay, it's hard to talk about. So we had 2 players in the last month or so end up leaving the league under good terms. They moved away. Kevin Shea, who plays for many teams, and Natalie Parcell, who plays for many teams. So, okay. So without being like too preachy or anything like that, it's so hard to say. I'm not always at a loss for words, but I want to make sure what I'm saying is like exactly what I want to say. So I think Natalie and Kevin are the perfect examples of you get out of this league what you put in. And I don't want to take that in a negative way because some people are huge into hockey, some aren't, or whatever like that. So so I remember Kevin Shea did so many things for this league. Very good goaltender. Superstar goaltender, carries a lot of teams on his back. I wouldn't say that. He plays on good teams. He's a very good goaltender. He refed for the league, did a good job filling in when we needed him. And a lot of those earlier, I don't say early times, just, when I was newer, he was reffing games. He was playing goalie, playing out. What else did he do? Oh, I don't know if I remember this. For a little while, he was trying to do little like DCHL updates on a. I don't know if I remember. This is so stupid. I remember it though. He was doing like a little newscast thingy for the league, like an update thing, like a pre podcast kind of thing. It was really adorable. Well, Kevin Shea is really adorable. Man Crush Monday is recorded on Monday at 11:21, so we got Man Crush Monday in, ballin'. So he did that. He did a lot for the league, and I hope that people really appreciate all he did because, I don't know where the league would be without him. And, oh God. So, yeah, I'm really disappointed that he's moving. And, it's unfortunate because he's a great guy, great person, great hockey player. And, I hope that he gets everything and more that he wants out of this move. He's moving to Texas. And hopefully it's great for him, and he has a great time. And, if it's not, hopefully he doesn't feel like it'd be a mistake to change his plans or do something else. Speaking from someone with the experience of that, sometimes you make a decision and you get a little too far down the road and you kind of feel like there's no way out. And, you just feel like I'm just going to put my head down and just get through this and keep getting through this. And, it'll be okay, it'll be good, it'll eventually be good. And, hopefully it's great for him. But if not, hopefully he knows that he has a huge DCHL league support staff and a lot of people who think he's awesome. And keeps that in mind. Hopefully he stays in touch. Also, shout-outs to Kevin Shea, who has won several most valuable goaltender trophies at Cool Hockey events. Won Beach Bash with DC Venom, taking home some most valuable goalie hardware. Tiki trophies, baby. Tiki trophies. I also believe that he should have won most valuable goalie at the previous Beach Bash when he played with the IPA team. And he might have gotten a tiki with that one as well. So beyond that, Natalie moving as well. She's going to Texas, a different part of Texas.
for some work, but that's okay. Natalie, another person, she, the quote-unquote team mom, the quote-unquote old broad, the all that. Natalie, she helped a lot with scoring. She was a great captain for a lot of teams, really helped with that, helped the league organize things. Just great. God, she's so great. She helped and contributed a lot to the league. She helped a great deal with her teams. One of the earlier female captains, doing a great job. Youngbloods, IPA, some Wednesday teams, Lords of the Rink. I forget all these teams that she's been on and helped out with that. Another person put a lot into the league. I hope she got out more than she put in, and hopefully DCHL League is really special for her. So I'm going to miss Natalie and Kevin. Hopefully they stay in touch and do their thing. So that was my sappy portion of the podcast. I'm a sentimental sucker, fool, whatever. So that's that. And now we're going to go from the bittersweet to the super sweet. We have some breaking news here. This has been in the making for a long time, proposed for several iterations, and it's finally getting some traction here. We on MDHL, we didn't do MDHL recaps because we got some breaking MDHL news here. We are going to, over the next season, we're going to put a pause on the D1 division here. Quick little pause for one season. We are going to, it's the summer, people are traveling, it gets a little tricky and all that, so it's going to be a bit of a pause, and I get to announce that we are going to be doing a draft division here. Okay, so I got to get the specifics on this. It's still in the works, still trying to get all the specifics out here, but it's going to be either 4 or 5 teams, and it will be draft. There's going to be the captains will be chosen, and they're going to draft in between, I believe, 10 and 12 players. And we're going to just draft teams. It'll trying to get all the specifics here. Doing it up. Open draft league. It's not going to be D1. It's going to be anyone who wants to play. Can put your name in there, and there will be a draft. Unfortunately, not all the players will be drafted. So if you don't get drafted, it is what it is. Hopefully that there's no hard feelings or no disappointment or anything like that. Open all players. When we draft 4 or 5 teams, we're going to figure it out. You're going to register, and then it'll be go through. The draft will be gender-free. There'll be no gender requirements. Doesn't mean anything. We're going to draft who we draft and go from there. There's going to be a cap system here to make sure there's a lot of competitive balance. So if someone has a bad draft or anything like that, there's going to be no bad drafts. I think the talent level is going to be through the roof, and all the players, the teams that get drafted will be very even for the most part. And I think a lot of draft is going to come down to not overall skill, but just total synergy. You're going to want players who play well together. You're going to want teammates who play the same style of game. It'll be interesting. It'll be really cool. So the teams are going to have at least 10 players and no more than 12. So it's going to be a soft limit, or excuse me, a hard limit right there. See how it goes. I'm not sure what the sub rules are going to be right there, but we'll have to figure that out here. I wonder if there's going to be trades going on, or swapping picks. But I don't know what's going on right there. But I can assure you that we're streaming this draft. We're gonna have to have a draft, a big draft board. We're gonna have to do like a draft central thing when we're talking about players and who's available still on the board and draft analysis here. So if anyone's interested in doing some of that, helping out with this production, because it has to be over the top. A Joe Shea production is always way over the top because that's how I roll. It's like taking an inside joke way too far. That's the story of my life. So we're doing a draft. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool. I guess the draft times are going to be, middle of the pack, like the middle of the road kind of games, maybe like in between like the 8 and 9 range. You can try to schedule it that way. So it'll be a little more convenient for people, but we're going to try to figure that out as we go on. The details are not all there, but we're getting there. So you can package yourself with other players. In terms of packaging, I'm not sure if anyone's too familiar with it, but when you package, it's going to be, you can put yourself with, maybe only one other person you can package it to. It's going to come at a higher premium because you're taking up 2 picks at once, and that can be advantageous in many ways. So there'll be a little bit of a premium added, but you can pair yourself with one person, say you carpool together or something like that, or you really want to play with a player, and that'll go from there. We're going to stream it. It's going to be awesome. I guess the limits of 10 to 12 players might or might not. There's going to be at least limited 10 players, but I'm not sure what the ceiling's going to be. So we'll look at all the specifics on that. We'll figure it out. But yeah, there'll be a cap. It'll be awesome. So I think it'll be interesting. Yeah, that's all the specifics we got right now. But it's kind of awesome. I'm excited for it. I think it'll add a little more spice to MDHL on Wednesdays here. I think the league's doing a good job, but summers are hard. A decent amount of teachers in the league. People like to travel. Boo. So people out of town on vacation, going to awesome places and seeing people and things like that. So it's kind of hard to have a summer league like that when some players are just going part-time or whatever. So I think the draft league will help on that. It'll also break things up so you're not playing the same teams every week, every season forever. TNT, Barbarians, Crease Crashers, and the Lords of the Rink. So we'll see what happens on that. It'll be exciting. It's still in the planning phase, so I don't really know anything too specific, but it's something we can go with, and I think it'll be exciting to change things up. It's good to every now and then try to add a little spice in there, kind of throw a wrench into things, shake it up, see how it goes. So this is, we're not canceling D1. Don't freak out, but we're doing a draft league. We're trying something new, and we will see how it goes. So, stay tuned for more details. If you're interested to talk to Suds, we'll go from there. So that is my reset for the DCHL leagues DCHL Outsider podcast. Once again, sorry for the gaps. I know everyone's clamoring for another episode of my sweet, sweet angelic voice, but I think more people are happy their eardrums got a little rest. So thank you for listening, and we will get back in the swing of things. More interviews, more awesome podcasts, more awesome interviews. I don't know about the rest of the podcast, but thank you for listening, and we will catch